Okay, welcome everybody. Got a few of the team members here and a few community members as well. I think the good thing about these things is that everybody likes to listen afterwards, which is the beauty of Telegram and Twitter Spaces. So I will keep this very efficient as possible, and I'll give a quick community update in terms of what's happening. And obviously, no one's been living under a rock because the USDCD pegging was something that nobody could have thought could happen. But hey, this is crypto; these things happen all the time. So right now, let's just talk about that really quickly. So clearly, what's happening is that the the DPEG happened because of SVB Bank going under bankruptcy protection and or bankruptcy in general. Clearly, I think there was close to $3 billion worth of exposure with SVB Bank, which is a really large amount of money for a stable coin. Thankfully, it wasn't more than that because that would have caused much more issues with the depegging and the overall market in general. But this is just another example of how you need to have exposure to fiat organizations in order for crypto to grow. Sometimes people think that crypto can grow without the help of fiat organizations, but that's not the case because you need to have real money coming into the market to increase volume and increase the market cap and so forth. So it's a combination of having both of them working together to really feed into each other. And sadly, when these types of things happen in the real world, as we saw over the last almost 9, 10 months now with FTX collapsing and Luna and now SVB, and obviously there was so many more names I can keep going on about that the crypto market's gone so big that it is getting impacted by broader market conditions that's unrelated to crypto, which, in my personal opinion, is a good thing because this means that the market's getting so, the crypto market's becoming so important that it's difficult to ignore. And hopefully this causes more security and more regulation to come in to a certain extent. That's going to bring a little bit more stability into the crypto markets because we all know what an amazing market this is. We all know how much opportunity there is. We just need to have more protections in place to help us from or to guide us in a better way when these types of negative events happen across the world. So it's a little ironic because we chose USDC for 9.5, hoping that we're not going to be impacted by these broader market fluctuations. And of course, the depegging happens. But on the plus side, it is coming back up quite aggressively. I chose USDC over you know the other major stable coins just because based on the research that I've done and just based on what everyone's saying, like they are the most backed. They're essentially backed one to one. They're very heavily backed by some very big reputable names. So beyond Tether, USDC just seemed like the more safer option. So I'm fairly confident that it will come back up and basically de-risk itself, especially when when the markets open on Monday. And like I said, we've had a lot of the negative stuff already collapse in crypto in terms of like large organizations. So now what's happening is it's the outside world that's impacting crypto more than the crypto world itself. Even take FTX for example. That was a crypto organization, but it was one bad guy essentially stealing money. And this technically had nothing to do with the crypto market itself, other than the fact that one guy was, handling money irresponsibly, and that was causing a lot of, negativity and lack of confidence within the market itself. And in this case, we have SVB, which is obviously a major, major bank. I think they're worth like $200 billion. Obviously, some of the investments didn't work out, and it's impacting a lot of markets across the board. Some people are saying that treasuries are gonna collapse on Monday or Tuesday, or it's not collapse, but it's gonna come down a lot. So it'll be interesting to see how the traditional finance world takes it. But I'm glad crypto's a 24/7 market because we get 2 extra days over the weekend to try to fix the situation sooner than traditional finance. So right now USDC is sitting at 95. I think it went down to as low as like 89 or 88. So clearly the market is seeing this as something that they can fix. So I'm fairly confident that we'll come back up to dollar and fix the depegging. If any of the stable coins do go down, I think that that's going to be overall really bad for the market in general. And this will impact everything. It's going to impact Bitcoin. It's going to impact ETH. It's going to impact Solana, AVAX, Matic, like whatever you have it, right? Like a stable coin going down at this stage of the game, especially a USDC or USDT, it's a lot more impactful for the market. So I am personally very confident that USDC will fix itself. So that's the positive there. And then in terms of NineFi, so we do have a very big week coming up. March 17th, the liquidity unlocks. This is a huge deal for us because we can now finally adjust the ratios of the market cap to liquidity ratio, meaning that when the percentage gets adjusted, we're going to have a much more of an impact on the chart when a buy or a sell comes in. So right now, we have one of the healthiest liquidity to market cap ratios across any small cap. We're regardless of how the market's doing, I like to think that we're actually doing pretty well. We've delivered on a lot of the updates and a lot of the promises that we've made in terms of what our goals are. So the LP unlock on March 17th, we're going to be gamifying it. We're going to be adjusting the liquidity to market cap ratio. I'm going to be playing around with it somewhere in the realm of 10 to 20%. Right now, we're at about like close to 55%. So when this happens, obviously sales will be impacted too, but then the buys are going to be much more larger and more impactful on the chart. And another reason we're doing this is because we want to actually capture more supply into the treasury so that we can start to make more strategic moves when it comes to hopefully getting on a CEX and also creating a bit of a supply shock, which is going to also cause the price of NineFi to go higher. So I'm very, very excited about this. This is something that I've been looking forward to since the fourth week of the project. This is something that I think it's very important to manage. And if you see a lot of the major tokens out there, the liquidity to market cap ratio is something that needs to be carefully monitored at all times because it does impact the way the price moves within the chart itself. And also, everybody wants to see green candles on the chart, including myself. So I'm really looking forward to gamifying this. It's going to get a lot more eyeballs and attention into us. There's a lot of sleepers, as I like to call it, within our chat who are just waiting to see some green candles to come in, and everybody loves to FOMO in. So for all the existing holders that have been holding since day one and supporting the chart, I just want to say thank you for that. You guys are all great to have here, and you guys clearly see the vision of what we're building. So next week, between the 17th and the 18th is when we're going to be doing the gamification. I'm still figuring out a time because the liquidity unlocks at a very weird time. I think it unlocks around like 6 or 7 p.m., which is a little bit late towards the GMT time zone. So I want to do something where I want to do it at a time frame when everyone's sort of awake, so it's not too late. So we'll probably push it by a few hours to start the gamification. We're gonna have some marketing going out that day, probably another contest, and then we'll obviously need your help. We'll need the community's help to spread the word as much as you can. And now we're also on CMC and CG, and that's a pretty big deal because whoever has us on a watch list is now immediately going to see the percentage increases when they happen, but also organically when the chart starts mooning. And let's say we start doing 100 200% gains, that is going to be pushed across CMC and CG, and that's going to give us a lot more organic attention as well. So I think this is going to be a really big week for us coming up. I think we're going to have a lot of people buying in. I think our market cap is going to be. I think we're going to make a new all-time high. I don't want to overpromise anything, but I do think with the way the percentages work and with the way the buys come in, I think that especially if the market's looking a little bit healthier, I think we will make an all-time high. The only reason I would potentially delay this is if we have a catastrophic failure in the market, and we just have like ETH and Bitcoin dump, then I think it's just responsible for us to wait and be careful with how these things happen because obviously the broader market, you know, sentiment does matter. It is important to time these things carefully. We were building in the bear market for a very long time, and we launched at a point when ETH was close to $1,700. So, these types of strategic moves, in terms of timing the macro conditions, does impact us a lot, and it does help to just create more attention into our project and into our token. So I think you guys know I like to be as transparent as possible and over communicate in terms of what we're trying to do. So given any crazy black swan events happening next week, I'm foreseeing a very positive movement upwards for 9.5. So right now is a very good position that we're holding on to. And then speaking of that, also the next big update would be the utility going live. So Ace is almost done with the NFTs. We are releasing a limited 333 collection with this. It's going to be gold, platinum, and diamond. As many of you know, the diamond and the platinum series will be priced a little bit higher. The gold ones are going to be the cheapest, and this is essentially for us to start generating money off services. Like we're actually going to start now offering this service where people can come in and people can give us some of their crypto and we can transfer it over to fiat and we'll generate fees that way, and a lot of these fees will be used for operations but also marketing, and just to keep the project moving forward. So I'm really excited about that. I already have a few people that are interested, and this is something that is really needed in the crypto market. I know a lot of people are also asking when are the amounts going to be lowered, and to give you that answer, it's just going to take some time. Building an actual service with a product line is difficult. It's difficult. There's a lot of paperwork involved. There's time that's required. Like I have to give make conversations with the banks, and I have to talk to my brokers where I am to convert the crypto into fiat. So unlike these traditional tokens where a lot of people just look at the chart as the number one indicator, with us we're generally trying to make money doing other things so that the holders can get taken care of. So yeah, I'm really excited about launching the NFT collection. I think that this is gonna again separate us from a lot of the other projects out there because we actually have a service that we're working towards, and we actually have a product. And the product's gonna be making money too. And this is just another step that we took to grow the Nine Lives network ecosystem. And then beyond that, the next move, what would happen, will be in sometime around April, and this is when the expansion arm is going to be talked about more. Again, I'm still talking with the dev in terms of what that's going to look like. And the only information that I can reveal to you is anyone holding 150,000 non-fi or more will immediately qualify for an automatic I don't want to say submission, but it's you automatically qualify to be a part of the expansion arm. This is just another way of us expanding the network, and this expansion arm is gonna also generate more money. It's gonna also give us more attention towards the project. It's also going to generate more taxes, and this will be lower taxes this time, but it'll find a way to reward existing non-fi holders, and that's also around the time where the staking is going to be released as well. So anyone who staked NineFi will be eligible for receiving staking rewards as a result of this expansion. I think you guys know by now. I don't like to overpromise. I want to make sure that certain benchmarks and certain goals are first met before we build and we talk about things that can actually be delivered. So the next 2-3 weeks, the biggest focus will be on the LP gamification and the marketing, and then of course the NFTs going live and getting that service up and running. We're gonna have our own custom site for the NFT, so people can go to the site and mint them. And because it's such a limited collection, I do think that this because it's such a limited collection, I do think that it's going to again set us apart from a lot of the other projects out there because again we're legitimately building something, right? So and I'm also just hoping in April, which is only 2 weeks away, the market gets a little bit better too. Because we're in such a environment where anything can happen, anything can go wrong. And the crypto market is pretty resilient right now. Bitcoin being above 20K is a big deal. ETH being above 1,200, 1,300 is a big deal. I'm looking at the ETH price right now; it's at 1467. These are all healthy moves, healthy market conditions, especially when you have like the traditional stock market, being down and crypto is technically outperforming. So I'm very much so optimistic for crypto having a really good year, especially towards the end of the year, starting in Q4, which is only a few months away. If you guys really think about it, like March is going to be done soon, and you got April, May, June, July, August, and you're basically into Q4. So time really does fly, and being alive and being a project that's still making moves and constantly building, like this does have a huge impact, because I think more and more people are just generally starting to educate themselves more on where to put their money into. That spreadsheet that Master Chief made for us a few weeks ago, and I look at that spreadsheet a lot because it's pretty insane to think about the amount of projects that are being launched on a day-to-day basis, and with little to no planning at all, no direction, and like we're in such an environment where there's so many rugs happening. It's really really sad, and also scary, but also really goes to show that it's very easy to identify projects that are legitimately doing the work, which in a way is really good for projects like us, because anybody that walks into our chat, anybody that goes onto our Twitter, and starts to see the amount of work that's being done, it's difficult to ignore a project that's legitimately putting in the work. It's difficult to ignore a community that's active, at a community that's here. And it's also difficult to ignore the fact that regardless of what's happening in the broader markets, we're still holding, we're constantly doing things to keep pushing forward. Like we're active, and these things do matter a lot, especially as investors and DGens get smarter in terms of where to put their money into. And I do think this is another good sign of the market maturing and the market becoming a lot more smarter. Like everyone's getting smarter. Everybody is more careful in terms of where their money goes. So I personally think, as bad as that is, it's good for projects like us, because a lot of projects don't make it past the first week or two. A lot of projects just stop working after the first 24 to 48 hours. So this just overall just makes NineFi look a lot better in general. But yeah, that's essentially the broader market update that we have coming up. Also, I just want to take a quick moment right now to give a shout out to the team. Obviously, these types of projects don't just happen without a strong community, but also the team's really important. We have G, we have Andrea, we got Godfather, YB, John, Tino's who's finally back. He was sick for a long time, and like it's the community and the team makes a huge difference in terms of what we can do together. So I just want to take a quick moment to say thank you to the team for holding it down over these last few weeks as we're building, and thank you to the community for being with us and constantly being supportive and watching what we're doing. You all mean a lot to us, and this is how good projects are built. Like good things take time to build. Very very excited about the week coming up. Let's all hope that the broader market conditions improve, and we have more stability across the entire world in terms of the crypto markets in general. And we're just gonna keep building. We're gonna keep building. We're gonna keep moving forward. We do have enough runway in the treasury to keep moving forward. So that's one thing that I was very very careful on. Like we're not going to run out of money or anything. One good thing about building and not spending too much money on marketing and things like that is because we get to preserve capital that way. And now I'm confident to say that like we do have a very large base of holders. I talk to quite a few of you guys, sometimes in the DM and sometimes on Twitter, and there's quite a lot of people holding because they see what we're building, they see that they see the amount of work that's being put on, and we are trying to solve a problem in the crypto space. We are generally trying to solve a problem, which is the exchange of crypto to fiat in a safe and legal manner. So that's whenever you try to solve problems, you tend to have people supporting, and obviously we have a really good marketing arm with our cat meta going on too. So yeah, a lot's being done here, guys. A lot's being worked on. So one thing I'm very proud to say is like, yeah, we have enough runway to keep going. So I'm not really worried about that at all. And yeah, just really looking forward to next week in terms of our LP unlock and the gamification unlock. The LP will be relocked, by the way, but it'll probably take a day or two. And then what will happen is that the percentages will get adjusted. So it'll be pulled and it'll be re-injected back in. Ideally, what the contract dev told me was we want to re-inject it back in when the charts and the price is higher, so that the sells don't get impacted as much and people sell off. So I'm really really excited about this, just because I think it's gonna really give us a huge push upwards and get a lot of new fresh eyes on it. And now, because there's so much that's being built over the last few weeks, nobody can question the integrity of the project, nobody can question the integrity of the team. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to witnessing when people come in, and hopefully we can get some organic traction. And I have a personal goal of that week or even that day. If we can get to like 300K in volume, guys, we'll start to automatically trend on DEX, and that's when you start to have some real big moves coming. When you have DEX trending happening, and you have marketing being pushed out and the buys coming in, and that's essentially how these crazy viral moves happen with these markets, and especially with alts. And another thing I quickly want to talk about is that with altcoins, we actually get to hold the floor. We get to control what we're doing. A lot of people think that we're impacted a lot by the broader markets, but no, with the altcoins are the only space I can confidently with 100% certainty say that we as a community get to control the floor price. We as a community get to control how high or how low the chart goes, because we're not impacted by other forces outside. Like if you look at a traditional stock, we don't know who owns what. Like it could be major banks, it could be institutions, and we don't really know exactly what that looks like. But at least with the microcap space, we get to control the floor our own way, and we get to manage the floor by as a community. So there's a lot of power in our hands. So always remember that. Do not think that you're insignificant, even if you're holding like 100,000 or 50,000 tokens. Like these sells and these buys and sells matter a lot. So we as a community have the power to actually build this thing into millions and millions of dollars worth of market cap. So never underestimate the power of a community as a microcap token. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'll give it a minute or two if anybody wants to ask me any questions. But if not, we have a huge week coming up. Definitely need your support. Every like, every buy forward, every tweet, every show makes a huge difference. When you get a chance, go on CoinMarketCap, put us on your favorite list, go on CoinGecko, do that as well. Make a comment on the actual threads. The more eyeballs we have on us, the better it'll be for everybody. Even if it's just a quick 10, 15 minutes a day, it makes a huge difference. I think working for our bags as a community is so important. So if you can, continue doing that and just spreading the word as much as possible, this is how we're going to keep pushing forward and keep building. Cool. So if anyone has any questions, let me know. I'll also check the TG if anybody wants to write something and I can answer. Mm. 191 members online. It's pretty cool. I feel like we're one of these projects where there's a lot of silent investors that's just watching and waiting to see what's happening. I had a DM the other day. Someone literally messaged me and said, he's like, I'm waiting for you to stop working. And I said, I'm like, bro, it's not gonna happen. Like I'm gonna keep working. And he just laughed. And he said it in a very nice manner. He wasn't trying to flutter or anything. He's just like, I've never seen a team and a dev give so many updates. So it's nice to see that kind of it's nice to get those types of messages, because it clearly goes to show that there's a lot of projects out there who just give up and who just stop. And one thing that with 9-5, I want to let you guys know is like there's always something that we can do here. There's always something that we can figure out. I'm not one to give up, and I'm not one to rest. And especially the team also, like we're building something really special here. So expect us to be around for a very long time. All right, guys. So it looks like there's no questions. I will end this conversation now. Hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Hope you guys, stay safe, take some off-screen time. Let's all pray to the crypto gods to fix the market. Pray to Bitcoin God, pray to the ETH gods to fix this market. Pray to Jerome Powell to be a little bit more hawkish on his statements when he comes onto the mic at the Federal Reserve. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to March and April. It's springtime in North America here, so good weather, sunshine, a lot of positive things happening. The more time that passes in crypto, the better it is for us, because it's another day and it's another month where crypto is constantly building, constantly growing. So I'm very much excited for what we have to offer as an industry this entire year. Thank you for being here, guys. Love you guys all. Take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you again very soon.